Hi everybody, how you doing today? I am getting ready to make a batch of my ginger root lemon juice concoction. A friend of mine, Mindy, told me about it a while ago, and I have actually been out now for, unfortunately, about 3 to 4 weeks, and I definitely notice a difference. So we know that ginger root is good for nausea. It's got lots of good vitamins and antioxidants in it. And our lemons definitely have got vitamins in it and antioxidants. I think they both lend well to anti-inflammatory. And I believe, for me, I believe that this has definitely helped with some weight loss in my world and with some inflammation in my system, reducing that a lot. I'm gonna do about half of this ginger root, and I'm gonna do about 4 of these lemons, maybe even 5, because they're pretty small. And what I will do is I'm going to get a pot of water ready. I have a 2-quart pitcher that I use for the holding of this. I didn't fill it quite to the top with water because I have to have a little room for my lemon juice. But what I'm going to do while I'm getting my ginger root ready is I'm going to get this water going, because I'm going to peel that ginger root and I'm going to slice it pretty thinly. And then what I will do is I will steep it after that water comes to a boil. I will steep it for about 15 to 20 minutes or so. You can probably do it longer if you want to. I'm just going to take all of its limbs today and use it. What I will do with this concoction that I'm making is I will steep the ginger root. I will let that cool down. After I steep it for the 15 to 20 minutes, I pull out all the pieces of the ginger root. Then I let it cool down, and in that process of steeping that, I'm going to go ahead and juice these lemons. And then when the ginger root mixture is cool enough, then I'll put it back in the pitcher, I'll add the lemon juice, and then starting again tomorrow morning, I will drink a 24-ounce glass of this before I do anything else. So here's a peeled piece of the ginger root. So you just take that very outside skinny thin layer off, and if you don't want to use your knife, you're welcome to try to use a actual like potato peeler too on it. They're very odd shaped with their little nubs and stuff, so I have found it's not quite as easy to use a peeler as it is just to use my knife and to do it, but you can do it however you'd like to do that. I will also say that in the beginning, when I first started this, and there may be some thermogenic benefits to doing it that way, but when I first started drinking this, I used to just warm a big cup of it up and drink it pretty warm. Because ginger is not my favorite flavor, I found it to be a little overpowering for my taste. So I decided to try it cold, and I like it that way much better. And then the other thing that I do before I drink it, after I add it to my cup to drink, I also add a big pinch of the Redmond sea salt. You can use Celtic salt if you want to. If you prefer no salt at all, you can do that. The only kind I have in the bag still right now is the coarse, but I use the fine for what I put in my drink. But you don't want to use Morton's or any of the iodized salt if you can help it, because it just is not super good for us. But that added extra salt in there, the Redmonds or the Celtic salt, actually helps to hydrate us better and to help us to retain hydration better. And because it doesn't have the iodine in there and it has some healthy minerals for us, it also allows us to not have our blood pressure spiked. You know, a lot of people will fuss about that, but I have found that with the Redmonds and the Celtic that it does not affect my blood pressure like the iodine salt did. Still probably don't want to overdo it, especially if you have blood pressure situations, or as they say these days, make sure you check with your doctor and see what they say. And I will, if you're not seeing a naturopathic doctor or more fix yourself healthy doctor, they may not even encourage you to do the ginger root and the lemon, but it really is not going to hurt you unless you happen to be allergic to root things due to mold. Your root sometimes can be a little hairy. Don't worry about that at all. Not gonna hurt a thing when you are doing what we're doing with it. So, as you can see, some of my little pieces are a little thinner, some are a little thicker, and it really just doesn't matter because it's gonna steep just fine no matter what. So, I choose to use real lemons, real fresh lemons, I guess I should say. This is a pretty firm lemon, and so several years ago I was taught if you roll them on a counter, just the pressure of your hand several times, you can feel it to start getting softer, and it will actually help you when you're juicing it better. This is what I started with, one I can hardly squish, and now one that I can squish pretty easily. I can feel the juice in there already. So I'll do the rest of these while our water's heating up here. Now, another one of my favorites, I don't have many Pampered Chef things, I really don't. But this is another one that I have. This is my citrus squeezer. Okay, so we have all of our lemons softened up, and you can put these into, juice them into whatever you want to. It does not have to be a measuring cup because I'm not measuring. I'm simply going on past experience and what I'd like my portions to be. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm just gonna go ahead and get these going. So they're good and soft. Cut them in half. Pop them in my juicer. If you are really one who doesn't like the pulp, then don't scrape the pulp off and keep it. To me, the more benefit of anything that I can get out of this deal is good for me. So, and away I go. If I don't have a lot of seeds in these, I'll put them down my garbage disposal because it smells really good and it cleans really well. In this case, it's got a few too many seeds for my liking, so in the garbage it will go. But anything I can do that's natural that helps keep my kitchen clean too, I use that as well. My mom, growing up, had the old kind of juicer, the round one where you had to use all of your muscles as you pushed and squeezed and turned. About the only time I can remember her really truly using that is when she was making some kind of dessert that needed the juice. We did not grow up having fresh squeezed orange juice or anything fun like that, but you sure could if you wanted to. I drink 24 ounces every morning. I try to do that first thing before I eat anything else. And I try to also not eat right away after I've had this. And so when this batch is gone, I will make a fresh batch. And usually I do it at night so that it has all night to sit and cool and marinate, so to speak. And it's ready in the next morning. But I'm actually doing this on a Saturday afternoon when I got a little time in between things. so that I can be ready to start my Sunday off really well. And actually my Monday morning too, because who doesn't need a little extra help on a Monday morning? So I have just under 3/4 of a cup of lemon juice. So if I felt ambitious and wanted to do one more, I might, and have an even 3/4, but it's not a perfect ratio recipe at all. So as soon as my water gets to the boiling stage, which should not be very much longer now. So this is what we ended up with for our ginger root after we peeled and sliced it. And in about, I don't know, 5 more minutes or so, this water is gonna be boiling. I'm gonna put all of this in here, and I'm just gonna throw the lid on, and I'm gonna let it sit for a good 20 minutes. And then I will show you how I remove all my stuff. You can do it however you want to. You can use a strainer, you can use a colander, however you want to do it. See you in a bit. Okay, it's been actually a little more than 20 minutes. So I'm gonna have some strong ginger flavoring in my detox anti-inflammatory concoction. But I'm just gonna pull out all the root. I have just this little slotted spoon. Like I said, you can do it however you want to. If you wanna use a strainer and strain it into something, you're welcome to do that as well. And then this is just gonna have to sit for, I don't know, because I don't have a glass pitcher to pour it into, and I don't like pouring hot things into plastic, this is probably just gonna have to sit for in between, I don't know, 30 to 60 minutes. Then I'm gonna add it to my lemon juice, and we'll be all done.